diagnosed with invasive ductal carcinoma, HER2 positive. If you're not familiar with oncology diagnoses, that's a breast cancer diagnosis. And my particular diagnosis had these small proteins attached to my cancer tumor that made the cancer cells multiply more quickly. So it was considered an aggressive form of cancer. When I discovered my tumor, it was already 6 centimeters in size, which is considered large, and it had spread to one of my lymph nodes. So I was stage 3. This diagnosis made no sense to me. I was healthy. I had had a physical in January. Why me, God? Why me? Each year, less than 5% of women under 40 will receive a breast cancer diagnosis. Why was I less than 5%? I was 34 years old. My daughter Hallie was getting ready to turn 1, and Elin was 3.5. Don't these kids need a mom? Carl and I were getting ready to celebrate 10 years of marriage. Doesn't he deserve a wife? I was finally finding stride in my career. Why can't I just enjoy what I have? I was scared and anxious of the future. I was not strong enough to tackle cancer. I wasn't ready for this. There wasn't room in our lives for cancer. And then God gave me the story of Gideon. When the Lord helped Gideon to rescue his people, Gideon questioned him. He said, God, if you're with us, why is this happening to us? And he followed that up by saying, God, how can I do this? I am the weakest and the least of my tribe that is already so weak. And God told Gideon, I will be with you. In 2018, God told me, Jennifer, I will be with you. He didn't promise me timelines or outcomes. He just promised to be there with me. And on Easter Sunday last year, the first Sunday after my diagnosis, I showed up to the gathering on the left side of the room, and I realized that God was calling me into a narrative that involved cancer. I've never felt more alone, more scared in a crowded room of people celebrating something so joyous for our faith. But it's as if Will could see me sitting over there, tearing up during the music and barely being able to listen to the sermon. He said, Easter meets us when the world's life is sad, but we do not need to feel hidden in the tomb. He challenged us to go and reclaim our life by meeting the risen Jesus, because there is power and there is hope in the risen Jesus. There is a God who wants to write a story of resurrection that is too good not to be true. My own resurrection story since last Easter is that cancer has allowed me to know God better than I have ever known him before. I have seen the Lord through 6 rounds of chemotherapy. I have been seen by the Lord through a bilateral double mastectomy. God called me through 28 rounds of radiation to share my story. He has called the unqualified, the scared, the tired, the doubters. God has called all of us to do his work. And through cancer, I realized that God was calling me by name. God said, go forth, Jennifer, and do something. Show people that I am. And on Easter 2018, I realized that God chose me for that particular journey. I committed to answering God's call and showing his provision in my life, whatever it looked like. And today, I want you to recognize that Jesus has risen from the dead so that each of us might experience a life that we never thought we would have.